Hi, I'm Andrew Gautron, Director of Customer Success here at Autocene. For today, I'm going to be showing you a portion of Autocene Passport in how you can begin automating your IoT device maintenance. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to create a new Passport task. This Passport task here is going to be actually talking to our Vaseman boiler server. So I'm just going to name it that, and we could call it maybe MAT workflow application. Because what we're going to do is we're actually going to talk to the server here that's recording some IoT information, and we're going to utilize that information to begin maintenance application workflow in the Autocene system. So we have our task name. The first component that we need is we're going to need an event. This could be a lot of different options that, depending on kind of how you set up your Passport network, you can utilize the IoT devices themselves. So you could have specific devices launching this event. However, for kind of configuration elements, we're going to be using the central server in which the boiler and other maintenance items may be talking to. And in our case, we're actually utilizing a SQL server to store the information. So how that might look is that if we come over to our SQL server, we may have a set of boilers that are sending in information in terms of like water supply, what the conditioning is, and what kind of classifications are coming in. So for today's example, we'll be showing what happens if the classification of a fouling event might cause, or if a workflow, or not a workflow, a water stoppage may cause here. So packet information could be coming into a central server like you see here, or it could be coming from the device itself. And that will kind of dictate how your event will start your Passport task. The second option that we need is an empty message input. That means we're not taking in the packet itself. So the packet we could actually ingest into the Passport task to use that information. However, we're actually going to be picking up the information from the server itself. So how do we do that? So the next component that we're going to implement is an SQL action. So our SQL action, we can begin to configure it to pick up certain events here. So you would put in, say, your server name, and then the database that you want to target. So our database in this case is the AMG test. We're going to use Windows Authenticated Security. So your Passport system would use its service account to talk to the SQL server. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to say select all from our change table. So as events are coming in, we're tracking those changes. Okay, so we have some information. We're gathering changes that are coming in. You may want a condition on top of that. So we'll put in a conditional action here, and we can begin doing certain conditions. So if we put in, say, if a text value, or actually an XML element value. So maybe our XML element that we're pulling is class, contains, say, the text option fouling, we're going to continue the task. If it doesn't contain that, we would stop the task. So if we say have just scaling coming in, or maybe we could just scroll down a bit here. Maybe we have a classification of nominal or lean. We would want to ignore those classifications. We only want to pick up certain things that may come into play. So it could be fouling. We could add another condition here that says maybe if class contains, we could put in maybe water stoppage or something along those lines. like a no water flow fault. So you could put that in as a condition. So we would say either or of those conditions being met, we're going to move on to the next step. And the next step is we want to hook it up to our actual workflow maintenance app. So we could have an application that provides maintenance alerts so we can begin creating tickets in an Autocene application, or we could hook this up to maybe ServiceNow or another kind of point solution that you're using for services. In this case, we're actually going to utilize a maintenance alert application that was built within Autocene. So how would we fill that out? Well, you would provide your environment's authentication token. You're going to provide a sender. So this could be maintenance@autocene.com or maintenance@yourcompany.com. We're going to put in the application ID. So it's going to utilize that application. And we're going to utilize the service API for the Autocene environment. So after we've filled that out, we're going to put in a no output. And essentially within a couple minutes there, I've taken some configuration elements and I've created a passport task to send us certain events for maintenance alerts. And how that would look is, I'll just trigger the system here, is that I should receive in this maintenance alert 2 different classifications that I'm sending through. So I'm going to send a no water flow, and I'm going to send a fouling fault. So we'll just wait a second for that to come through. You can see that we're getting our maintenance alerts now. So here's our first one. You can see I have a maintenance alert critical. We have a no water flow fault, so we'll open that up. And you can see I have a warning. We have fouling. That's also happening, so I can open that up as well. So we've taken the information, such as the equipment, the fault code, and the possible location, because we could link this information together with other information that you have stored in different locations, and begin an actual maintenance application. So how that would look like is maybe I want to take action and start an investigation here. So I'm going to click here to take action. And I can start the ticket. So it's going to take me directly to my maintenance alert application. I could have a number of different actions that are requiring my attention. You can see I have a warning here, a critical here, a warning here, so on and so forth. So you can begin tracking these certain actions, have different teams provide different actions. So I want to thank you today in kind of showing you the speed and the ability for you to begin utilizing your IoT, your smart devices, begin utilizing that information so that you can provide quick and easy maintenance and support for your maintenance teams by utilizing applications on the go. Thank you.